Welcome back to Zen Zone Health, your go-to spot for practical advice to improve your well-being. Today we're diving deep into childhood development, dissecting 8 common phrases you should never say to your kids. Words have power. The things we say can shape their self-esteem, confidence, and outlook on life. We'll break down why these phrases are detrimental and what you can say instead to foster a healthy environment for your children. Let's get started. Kids cry. It's a fact of life. They trip, their ice cream falls, their toy breaks. It's a roller coaster of emotions. These moments, though seemingly small, are monumental in a child's world. Crying is a natural, healthy way for children to express their feelings. It's their way of communicating distress, frustration, or sadness when words fail them. When you tell a child to stop crying, you're shutting down their emotions, telling them their feelings are invalid. This can lead to long-term emotional suppression.
Instead of saying, "Stop crying," get down on their level, look them in the eye and say, "I see you're feeling sad. Can you tell me what's wrong?" This approach fosters trust and open communication.
Think about it. How would you feel if you were upset and your partner told you to shut up? Not great, right? Children are no different. They deserve the same respect and understanding.
It can be tough to stay patient with a screaming toddler, but empathizing with their emotions makes a world of difference. Acknowledging their feelings can help them calm down faster. You're not raising robots. You're raising emotional beings. Children need to know it's okay to feel and express a range of emotions. Teach them how to process and express those emotions in a healthy way. This skill will benefit them throughout their lives. It'll make for a much happier household. A home where feelings are acknowledged and respected is a nurturing environment.
Remember, validating their feelings helps them feel understood and secure. This sense of security is crucial for their emotional development.
Take the time to empathize, and you'll see positive changes. Your child will feel more connected to you and more confident in expressing themselves.
Let's move on to the next phrase and continue to build a supportive environment for our children. We live in a fast-paced world, constantly rushing from one thing to the next. Our schedules are packed, and it often feels like there's never enough time in the day. But kids don't operate on our timetables. They have their own rhythm and pace, which is often much slower than ours. They're still learning at their own pace, absorbing the world around them in their unique way. This process can't be rushed. When you constantly tell a child to hurry up, you're creating anxiety and pressure. This can lead to stress and a feeling of inadequacy in your child.
Instead of yelling, "Hurry up," take a deep breath and try a different approach. Consider the impact your words have on your child's emotional well-being. Get down on their level and say, "I know you're trying your best. How about we make it a game? Let's see who can put their shoes on the fastest." This not only encourages them, but also makes the task enjoyable.
By turning it into a game, you're taking the pressure off and making it fun. It transforms a stressful situation into a playful one. Plus, you're teaching them valuable life skills like time management and self-sufficiency. These are lessons that will benefit them throughout their lives. Patience is key when it comes to kids. They need time to learn and grow at their own pace. They're still learning and growing, and they need our guidance and support. Our role is to nurture and encourage them, not to rush them. So the next time you're tempted to yell, "Hurry up," pause, breathe, and find a more patient approach. Remember, patience fosters a positive environment for your child's development. Your kids will thank you for it. They will feel more supported and understood, which strengthens your bond. Let's move on to the next phrase. Embrace patience and watch your child thrive. We've all been there. Your child does something wrong and you blurt out, "You know better than that." But do they really? Kids are still developing their sense of right and wrong. When you shame a child, you're not teaching them accountability. You're making them feel bad about themselves.
Instead of resorting to shame, try to understand the situation from their perspective. Ask questions like, "What made you do that?" Or, "What were you hoping would happen?" This opens up a dialogue. Once you understand their perspective, guide them towards making better choices. Explain the consequences of their actions and help them come up with alternative solutions. Discipline should be about teaching, not punishing. Shaming them will only make them feel small and afraid to try new things. Replace "you know better than that" with empathy and understanding.
Isn't praising our kids a good thing? Yes and no. While it's important to celebrate accomplishments, generic praise like "good job" can do more harm than good. If you hear the same phrase over and over, it loses its meaning. The same goes for kids.
Instead of relying on generic praise, be specific. Notice the effort they put in, the creativity they displayed, or the kindness they showed.
Instead of just saying "good job" on your drawing, try "wow, look at the details you added to the trees. You really took your time."
By being specific, you're showing them that you're truly paying attention to their efforts. You're acknowledging their unique talents and abilities, building their self-esteem.
It's not about showering them with empty compliments. It's about recognizing and celebrating their individual strengths and efforts.
So ditch the "good job" and start being specific with your praise. You'll be amazed at the difference it makes. Let's move on to the next phrase.
We've all been there. You're at your wit's end and say, "just wait until your father/mother gets home." But this is a dangerous game.
It immediately undermines your authority, telling your child that you're not capable of handling the situation yourself.
It tells them they don't have to listen to you, that they can wait for the real disciplinarian.
It creates an unhealthy dynamic, pitting one parent against the other. The child learns to play one parent off the other.
Instead of passing the buck, take charge of the situation yourself. Address the behavior immediately, setting clear boundaries and consequences.
Present a united front with your partner. Talk to each other. Come up with a consistent approach to discipline and stick to it.
This shows your child that you're both on the same page and that their behavior has consequences.
Consistency is key when it comes to discipline. By presenting a united front and addressing behavior immediately, you're creating a stable environment. This stability helps children feel secure and understand the importance of rules. Effective communication between parents is crucial. Teamwork in parenting ensures that both parents are on the same page. In the long run, this approach fosters respect and understanding. It aids in the child's overall development and well-being. Let's move on to the next phrase.
Every child is unique. They have their own personalities, strengths, and challenges. Yet, we often fall into the trap of comparing our children to one another.
Comparisons are never fair. Every child is different and develops at their own pace. When you constantly compare a child to their sibling, you're sending the message that they're not good enough as they are.
Instead of focusing on their shortcomings, celebrate their individual strengths. Maybe your son isn't as tidy as his sister, but he's incredibly creative. Focus on that. Nurture his creativity, encourage his passions.
Your job as a parent is to help them blossom into the best versions of themselves.
Accept and love them for who they are, quirks and all. Let's move on to the next phrase.
Words have power. They can build up or tear down. When it comes to children, those words can leave a lasting impact.
When you constantly label a child as shy, clumsy, or naughty, you're putting them in a box.
You're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where they start to believe those labels and act accordingly.
Instead of labeling them, focus on their behavior. Instead of saying, "you're so clumsy," after they spill their milk, try, "oops, it looks like you had a little accident. Let's clean it up together."
By focusing on the behavior, you're teaching them that mistakes happen, and that's okay. You're showing them that they're capable of learning and growing.
Children are not their labels. They're complex individuals with unique strengths and challenges.
Let's give them the space and support they need to blossom into the best versions of themselves.
Free them from the limitations of our labels. Let's move on to the next phrase.
We all have those moments as parents where we feel completely overwhelmed. The to-do list is long, the kids are demanding attention, and all you want is 5 minutes of peace.
While it's important to set boundaries, consistently brushing off our children sends the message that they're not important.
Instead of shutting them down, try to validate their feelings. Acknowledge their request for attention, even if you can't give it to them right that second. Say, "I hear you want to play. I'm finishing up some work, but how about we play in 10 minutes?
By setting a specific time, you're showing them that you value their time.
When you do have those moments to connect, make them count. Give them your undivided attention.
Our children crave our attention. It makes them feel loved, valued, and secure.
Make an effort to be present for them, even in the midst of our busy lives.
Let's move on to the final scene.
Remember, your presence matters.
So there you have it, folks. 8 phrases to ditch if you want to raise happy, confident, and well-adjusted kids. It's not about being perfect parents. It's about being mindful of our words and actions.
And speaking of creating a positive environment, here's a bonus tip for the holiday season. Consider adopting the 3-gift rule for your children. 3 meaningful gifts that align with their interests, encourage their development, or spark their creativity. It takes the pressure off finding the perfect gift and focuses on quality over quantity.
Plus, it teaches valuable lessons about gratitude, simplicity, and the true meaning of the holidays.